Hello everybody and welcome back. Thanks so much for tuning in. My name is Christian Skoggs and I'm so sorry guys, but I fucked up. I recently posted a video going over the top 10 movies of 2024 so far, and I thought I had a pretty solid list. Turns out though, I neglected to mention a key movie that absolutely deserves to be on that list. I really liked all the movies I talked about, but figured I should talk about this one movie that for some reason completely crossed my mind when making this list. I think it's because I saw this at home instead of in theaters, but still, I'll do my best to make sure this doesn't happen again. With that being said, let's do a quick review for the movie The Last Stop in Yuma County. This is a crime thriller from up-and-coming director Francis Galuppi and starring indie darling Jim Cummings. It takes place in a singular diner where guests inside wait for a gas truck to come so they can fill their cars. Complications arise though when two of those guests happen to be a pair of bank robbers on the run from the authorities. It's a very simple premise overall, but I think what makes it fun is the style it has. The best way to describe it is that it's very clearly inspired by the work of Quentin Tarantino, who himself was already inspired by films from the 60s and 70s. And while a lot of you may hear this and understandably roll your eyes, just know that this has enough personality on its own to make it an engaging watch. The dialogue is well written, the stakes are high, and the production elements are all very strong. I also really like all the characters here, and their personalities added a lot to the thrills that were present. Now, Jim Cummings himself is an actor and filmmaker with what seems to be an impressive resume, and although I admit I have not seen any of his previous movies, I really got a strong first impression based off this performance. This character was interesting, and I think he did a great job portraying a nervous type who still held a lot of tricks up his sleeve. His arc especially was very engaging, and although he makes some questionable choices, you still find yourself rooting for him throughout. Now, I'm a sucker for old music, especially 60s and 70s music, and I love the way it was used here. It never felt like it was simply tacked on for aesthetic purposes, and it always felt purposeful. Sometimes you go into a movie like Cruella or Suicide Squad, and you can tell that they just added a lot of older music simply because they could. So I'm happy to report that this is not the case here. This is a really strong debut for Francis Galuppi, who now has an Evil Dead movie in the works, and I'm excited to see how it turns out. He's proven with this movie that he can do chamber pieces really well, and that perfectly describes what a good Evil Dead movie will entail. Overall, this was a really fun time. If I could go back and change my list, I would probably have this at the number 6 spot, but hopefully I'll be back later this year to talk more in depth about it on the best of the year list. It's available on VOD now if you haven't seen it yet, and I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. Anyways, this was a short one, but hope you're all doing okay out there, and until next time.